Good morning traders, it's Monday the 19th of May, time is 0812 GMT. This is an index analysis video for you. We can see here this is the real-time FX Algo Trader Index Analyzer, and what we're seeing here is an alert telling us that the Euro Aussie dollar may offer us some long potential. If we look at our filters that we've used to derive this alert, you can see here the areas in green are the filter criteria we're looking for. So basically we're anything which is all green we're not too worried about, but in this case the filter here is saying I want basically the top 3 strongest daily indices, the top 2 strongest 4-hourly indices, and the top 2 4-hourly indices, and correspondingly any signal which is generated has to fit into this banded area here basically. So ignore the monthly and the weekly, we're only interested in daily, 4-hourly and hourly, and that's what the system has given us here is Euro Aussie dollar and a short Aussie dollar Swiss franc signal. So let's just look at these charts briefly. I'm just going to save this chart as a template because I've just put some pivots on it. These pivots are basically the FX Algo Trader time frame adjustable pivots, so I've synced them to GMT. We can see here on the Euro Aussie dollar we've got a pivot confluence between the weekly central pivot WPP and also the central daily pivot, which is PP. So from an entry perspective, our entry would be most probably ideal around that level, so we'd be looking for a retrace, and what we may want to do is just simply set a pivot alarm using the price proximity alert systems within the FX Algo Trader pivot products. So I could either set it around the weekly pivot, which is the solid line, which I think I'll do. So I go into, I'm just going to move the index analyzer out of the way slightly because it's always on top, and I just simply scroll down to the WPP alert enable, click true, and that's that chart taken care of. Now the Aussie Swiss franc, let's just have a look at that. I'm just going to load my template. Which layers over my pivots. Okay, so we've got a short signal here, and then exactly the same thing. We've got a pivot confluence with the daily central pivot and the weekly central pivot slightly above price action. What we would anticipate is this area should act as resistance, so in exactly the same way we can set a pivot alarm around the weekly pivot level, which is the first one to come to. So we just go down to WPP, alert enable, true. That's it. Basically you can add more pivot enabled alerts around any pairs which are identified by the index analyzer, but essentially until we get another alert on the index analyzer or until one of our pivot alerts is triggered, that's it. You can go and do something else. So this is a super fast way of letting or using an index analysis based system to identify the appropriate and strongest or weakest pairs to trade, and then using intelligent pivot software which has got alerts to then automate your entry signal.